Every year we find a player who is important in the coach's team, but suddenly we find them sitting on the bench, either by a decision of the coach or the owners. And as we all know, every player doesn't like being a substitute or not playing permanently, because it will lower his abilities and sometimes it can destroy his career. But faced with this situation, can a player sue his club? And is there a law that protects players from sitting on the bench? Well, that we are going to find out in this video. Before we discover whether there is a law that protects players in this situation, we first need to know whether the club has the option of benching a player for no reason. Well, if it was the coach's decision, it's difficult to take action against him, especially if the player is no longer good for the team. But if it's the owner's decision, it could create problems. Firstly with the coach, because he doesn't have complete freedom to choose the players, and this will lead to drop in the club's results, so the coach's resignation is possible. It also depends on the player's abilities, and how important he is to the media and the fans, because as we all know, every year we find players who have been turned into ghosts on the bench, but no one cares, because either they are not good enough or they don't have many fans. Because if he's famous, even if he's not good as he used to be, the fans and the media will have no pity for the coach and will demand his involvement, even if it sometimes costs the club a drop in results. And when the play is important, sometimes the sponsors only come to the club because of him. So if he doesn't play many matches, the companies may pull out, and sometimes there are clauses with these companies stipulating that the player must play a certain percentage of the matches, otherwise they will not pay. It also depends on the club's results. If the club is doing well without him, the fans will often forget about him over time. But if it's the opposite, they will ask for him to be involved after each failure. And now, is there a law that prevents the club from benching the player? Actually, there is no direct law, because it depends on the coach's decision. Or otherwise, any player who finds himself a substitute will sue the club, but they can resort to indirect laws. For example, when PSG decided not to put Kylian Mbappé on the list of players traveling to Japan, the Union of French Footballers issued a statement criticizing PSG's actions and threatening legal actions. And they said, all these players must benefit from the same working conditions as the rest of professional workforce, because a player is considered to be like any other employee, and under French law, any worker must benefit from the same working conditions. But can PSG bench Mbappé throughout the season? Legally, there is no direct law preventing them from doing so, and the issue has become one of the vanity and dignity for the owners, and I won't be surprised if they did. Just as they punished Lionel Messi when he went to Saudi Arabia, they can punish him too. But is it rational to leave the best player in the world on the bench when you desperately need him? No. They should enjoy him until the last day of his contract. And perhaps because it's his last year, he will be motivated by the idea of achieving something with the French club. And maybe after a year, he will like the project Luis Enrique is building and decide to renew his contract. We don't know what will happen. And I don't think Enrique would like the idea of the club's owners controlling his decisions and leaving his best player on the bench. And of course, I'm talking about the case if he stayed. So any club can leave any player on the bench if they want to. The only question is whether they can cope with the reaction of the fans, the media, and the team's results without him.